to Alan Boyd.
Never.
No, you didn't read the email, I was telling you. But my point is, so I did some checking. In 2010, the American Conservative Union, which is the ranker of conservative values in D.C., they look at what we do and they rank us based on our conservative credentials, based on our votes. Because really what it all comes down to is what we do with that card, that voting card. Okay? And so they rank us. In 2010, they rank you on 0 to 100. In 2010, the former congressman that we defeated scored a 10. His lifelong score over 7 terms was 32. Hardly conservative. In 2010, Cliff Stearns was a 96. His lifelong, over the entire career, 96. So that's like comparing apples to oranges. There's no similarities between Alan Boyd and Cliff Stearns. Cliff, I've spent time with him personally. I know his wife, I know him, he supported me. And I'm going to tell you something, I'm very proud to have Cliff in the position as a subcommittee chairman going after Southerland. I think Southerland is worthy to go after. This administration has been making it very clear. They pick and choose winners. And I think that's contrary to what our founding fathers intended for government to ever do. Fair? I want the government to determine what fair is. I want free enterprise. If we got new alternative energies, well, if the American people want to buy them, they'll win. If they don't, they'll lose. And Cliff is pursuing, I think, some very bad behavior as a chairman of the subcommittee. Now, I'm not a chairman, I'm a freshman. When you get there as a chairman, you don't become a freshman. When you get there as a freshman, you don't become a chairman. The point is I believe that you replace people that are doing a bad job. In a nutshell. And so, I'm thrilled that through, people say, well, if you've been there for 25 years, you're part of the problem. Not according to that American Conservative Union rating. They lie. And so my point is that I didn't make this an issue.
Is that the same Conservative Union that rates you as a moderate?
And I don't, I'm a 96.
Well, there was something that I looked at on the internet yesterday, and it did have Cliff Stearns somewhere up here for you, but it showed you as a moderate Republican.
No, there are 3 that I pay attention to. Number 1 is American Conservative Union. I am a 96 in the American Conservative Union. There's one other member from Florida that's higher than me with 100, and that's Dennis Ross, also a freshman from the Lakeland area, Winter Haven area. I'm a 96, Cliff's 96, Dennis is 96. The other one that I pay attention to is Heritage Action. In Heritage Action, I think I'm 89.
Well, I'm surprised to see it, and I don't remember right offhand what website I was on.
Yeah.
You get in that mess, and it just bothers your mind.
Yeah, it is the NRA, for example, I'm on all 5 NRA bills. All 5.
Well, after the NRA endorsed Alan Boyd and Debbie Boyd last election,
Well, no, please believe me, we had a wonderful conversation. As I did with the Chamber of Commerce. But let me say this, in Washington, D.C., no one gets me confused with moderates.
I would go back and look and see what it was. It was probably a plan.
Yeah, it is no one.
It's when you get by going to the tracker, that's all.
Yeah, so I don't, no, nobody has confused me with being, look, I have great friends in Heritage. There's a lot of organizations out there that score us, but I am certainly, when you're 1 of 10 freshmen that vote against the Speaker's debt ceiling bill, hardly a moderate.
no-brainer for me, and it should be understood by everybody else. If it's illegal, it's illegal. And you can go on and on. It starts with no driver's license, domestic violence, public intoxication, then it goes to murder and different crimes. And also this thing here going on there that talks about marriage now really burnt me up as a taxpayer and a citizen of this country, 26 years Air Force. What really burnt me up now is that they found a loophole and they've got an income credit for kids that are living in Mexico. Anyhow, I'm asking you, they want to know why you haven't voted for this E-Verify.
Well, first of all, E-Verify is injudicial. That's not my committee of oversight, so it's not come to the floor. So I couldn't vote for it even if I wanted to. That hadn't been brought before us yet. So, but let me just give you my overall belief, and let me say this before I go forward. We got to win this thing. Let me just be very clear. Okay? I've heard nothing but outstanding things about your candidate. And if your candidate wins, and by the way, I got my own rights. Okay? I issued a statement. That was a statement. Then I got to go back to my 16 counties and run for my life because they're coming after me. Okay? And that's okay. Because when they come, they'll find a fight. And that's all right. But I got my own fight. So, but one of the things I will do in my fight, I will find time and make it crystal clear for everyone that lives in the 3rd Congressional District that we've got to elect your candidate. We've got to beat his challenge. And we need him to sit on our side of the House. So whoever that is, I just want that to be very, very, I want that understood. Now to your issue, E-Verify is, I think, a tool that I think is a good tool. But tools are to be used in process. Okay? You've heard me often use the term ready, aim, shoot. So much of Washington is ready, shoot, aim. That defies common sense. E-Verify, you can't get your hands around the immigration issue until we as a country stop paying people to sit on their rear ends.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I mean, I agree with E-Verify. It sounds good. But it's if you got A, B, C, D, it's not A. It may be in there. It's one of the tools we're going to get to, but it's not A. Because if you implement E-Verify as A, you will do what Georgia did. They implemented E-Verify. You know where their workers went? Florida. And where else? South Carolina. And what happened to the crops?
They're leaving Florida.
And what happened to the crops?
They lost $300 million worth of
Yeah, and they're right. Okay, so here's what happens. E-Verify, I'm for E-Verify. But I'm for it to be used in the proper sequence. I mean, I'm a golfer. Okay, I played college golf. I never teed off with a putter. Now, I'm not against putters. Because about 400 yards down here, I'm going to need the putter. I won't use the driver. But when I'm down here, it's grip and rip, man. It's driver time. The same thing about E-Verify. It's in the bag. It's part of the tool. It's one of the things that we're going to play. But the first, okay? If we are, and again, this is high moral ground that we lost. And in this country, if you're of working age, you are physically, mentally, psychologically able to work, it is incumbent upon you to get off your lazy rear end and go to work.
That's right.
And until we as a country reclaim that that moral integrity. All these other things are gimmicks. We have got to reward people based on their effort, based on the value they create for the overall society. We've got to have earned success. And that's what our country has done for over 200 years. And so therefore, then, once we do that, things like Civil War, things like e-verify, things like, you say, guest worker programs. And we do that without crushing our farms. And we do that without driving up food prices. Because food is not rotting in the fields. So there's a process. So I agree. Yes, sir.
I've got Bill Davis real quick. Got a question you mentioned about working in farms. One thing that we're not doing as a society is teaching our children to work. And one thing the Department of Labor has done is started implementing rules against our children working on our farms. You don't give us something now.
They just withdrew that last week. I'm not going to say they're going to stop, but the president's initiative to prevent fathers from taking their sons, their daughters, to the family enterprise. Okay, there's a reason now that this administration is doing what they're doing. It's not just an attack on business. It's also an attack on the family. And as the family goes, so goes a nation. Y'all, we got to reclaim the moral high ground. That we realize our way of life, the free enterprise system, earning success, rewards for your merit and your effort, that's biblical. That's what we got to reclaim. And so this attack on family businesses, family farms, family enterprise, they can't take their sons, their daughters. So the president felt an enormous uprising that he underestimated. Okay? And so last week on Monday, I co-sponsored the bill, an objection to him. And I think it was Wednesday that the administration and the Department of Labor withdrew their efforts. So, now, but I'm not trusting them long term. I'm saying that right now, we won this battle. But they're going to come back. I live on Panama City. I've never known Tide not to come in the next day. It's coming. They're coming, but we beat them back this time.
Okay. Jerry Barnes, I appreciate y'all been doing a plan to do a part of the corporate labor issue. And because I'm getting hammered about it right now, I got to work out of farmland. And it is, I'm probably going to be stuck if I told y'all what things they was getting me on, y'all would probably just think I'm lying. It's just unbelievably stupid stuff. Anybody who's got like a house, this is anybody that's renting to any migrant seasonal agriculture workers. Anybody. If you've got a house rent, if you've got one living in there, you're probably not aware of what you're up against if you ever get caught. They'll come in your house, they'll measure your bedrooms to see the square footage, they'll measure your bed to see how high it is. If you got two beds in there, they'll measure how close this bed is to this bed. They'll have your garbage cans in your house. If you don't have a lid on it, they'll write you up for it. You don't have a complicated refrigerator, they'll write you up for it. You have a torn spring or no spring, they write you up for it. And last year I got to go up to do like $4,200 for stuff like this. And if you don't have a little old similar poster in your house stating what their responsibility is, like my guys always pay the power bill. They've been doing it for 15 years. We get the power bill, we give you the bill, 3 days later, they give us the money. If it's not posted up there that they will pay that power bill, then they can go back and make you reimburse all of that money. And this one payroll reduction, this was who was putting money in the thing, could about it is that when they come in, and now, when they want to make me give them the, pay them back for the electric bill, and they want to charge me for, not paying them all the time. This money that I got reimbursed, they're trying to make it look like that it's wages that I have to pay. And so my question to you is because I decided that I'm going to stand up and fight so, and I just don't know exactly where to start. I want to know who I can call, who I can go see, how much money I got to spend, but I am sick. I've got that in my pickup truck. Y'all supposed to would not believe this mess. It is unbelievable what the Department of Labor can do. And they can do it to anybody in here that rents a house, go back and farm work. Anybody. Because they're saying you run a labor camp, you know. And they right. And this mess needs to be changed. I don't know if I can do anything, but I sure want to let them know who I am, because I just made several calls and they kind of know I'm pretty honest.
Well, one of the things I'd like to visit with you on the issues you just outlined. Make sure I understand fully, do my due diligence to make sure I understand the issues, and make recommendations to you. I know that all of the departments. It is my opinion. I will say this in closing because we've gone 45 minutes over. I believe that Congress, and we've got to repair this, I think, in the next Congress, because I don't think we're going to repair this in this Congress. Congress has ceded its responsibility to the departments. And I'm of the opinion that we have created the fourth branch of government. And this branch of government is determined by the leader. The way that it goes is really determined from the head down, by the president, obviously. But they have rulemaking authority. They have enormous budgets, armies upon armies upon armies of bureaucrats at their disposal. And they are crushing the American people. And whether it's the Department of Labor, whether it's the Department of Energy, whether it's the Department of Education, it doesn't matter. And I think that there are abuses because of the rulemaking authority and having no congressional oversight or have to answer. And that goes back to the budget issue. You control all the money. So the battle that must be waged is to say, hey, we've got to rescind that authority. We've got to have more say in the regulations that you are pushing down on the American people. And we're going to control you with a sensible, responsible budget that funds good government. And part of good government for this country is to address our debt and our deficits, while at the same time creating value for the American people. So, because your situation, your complaint on labor, is that's the same group that's telling us that we're going to split up family businesses. We're going to split up family enterprise. And I will tell you, there's an effort here that says that the government should have greater influence on your home than you do, and on the raising of your children, and on the track and the professional path that they take. I am a third generation funeral director. When we were kids, we were at the funeral. We washed cars, we mowed the grass, we carried out the trash. That was our contribution. We learned the value of work. And then when we were in high school, we answered phones, we took messages, we carried flowers, we did all the things, but we learned our father's trade, as he did with his father. And I'll tell you something, I'm proud of the fact that we're a family-owned business. So not only do we deliver value in funeral service, but I think we deliver value in our culture. We're a family that works together. And the family farms are just like that. But if you wanted to destroy America, if you wanted to fundamentally transform America, as the President promised. And that's, by the way, fundamental transformation is to drill down to the molecular makeup of who we are. Just changing our freedom DNA. And what is a part of America? Family, owned, and operated enterprises. And you have determined, and that's where you teach your children not how to be a farmer. That's where you teach your sons how to be men. That's where you teach your sons how to be husbands, fathers, and to be conscious contributors to society, where their earned success is determined by their effort, not a bureaucrat 1,000 miles away. It's the moral high ground. That's what we've got to retake. It's not about numbers, it's about values. And those are the American values. And I believe those are the first principles that were used to form and to lay the foundation of this great nation. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all being here.
Hey, Steve, can I make one request?
Yes.
Before everybody leaves, this year is the 500th anniversary of Ford being founded, as everybody knows. Would you sponsor a bill